I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight.
Ooh.
Nice little
Yes,
intro there,
people,
Niall.
welcome. I know, mate. Always got a good one, mate. But welcome to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for the weekly review show, as always. Charl is in great voice already, surrounded by Liverpool and United fans. She has forgotten that her team has just drawn to Burnley, but we'll get into that. Don't worry about it.
Cool story.
I have managed to pick up 4 fans who none of their teams won at the weekend, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I'm surrounded by losers, but we've got Charl, who is a Chelsea fan, Kenny, who is a United fan, Paul and Tyler, who are both Liverpool fans. How are we all doing?
Fabulous, great, fucking phenomenal.
On
a great weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it has. It's been a fabulous weekend for football. Go on West Ham. Kurt Zuma showing that once a blue, always a blue, finishing off Liverpool like he always does. Fucking what a beauty, I'm telling you. Kurt Zuma's an absolute baller. Liverpool are shite. Man U are shite. I'm just quite happy saying that for the rest of the show.
Let's just talk about Matthias Vidra, please.
I mean, I can beg to differ, but
you can beg to differ all you want, but I'm not the one sitting with a team that got absolutely beaten by West Ham. So yeah, some of us can beat West Ham, some of us can't. It's okay.
Can we stop disrespecting West Ham like they're just some shit small club? Because I don't know about you lot, but
yeah, I know West Ham are above Liverpool. Loving it.
No, I mean David Moyes. David Moyes. People need Charl, you need to actually start putting respect on West Ham's name, because I feel like
I do have respect. I don't have respect for Liverpool. I'm disrespecting Liverpool because Liverpool are shite.
I'm about to argue.
I thought
you.
so.
I'm about to argue with you because I don't know where this energy comes from, but we move. Ravi says, "Big up Niall, slap the likes and subscribe to one of the best channels on the planet. Thank you." Wolf says, "Marcelo Bielsa in." No. Right, okay. No. Wolf, Cameron and Rodgers do more than Ollie for United. We'll scrape the barrel, shall we? All Ollie has to do is drop McFred, Shaw, Bissaka play. Oh, crikey. Play Donny, Matic, Tellez, Dallo, Sancho. If you can't do that, get sacked more on. Right. Experienced manager. Yep, I agree. Mustafa says fuck United. I'm supporting Argyle now. Yeah, I mean, we drew at the weekend, so I'm not too sure if I'm keen on that. We were a bit shit as well.
Do you know what? I wanted to tune into that. Watch that game. It was 12:15 on Sunday, wasn't it, or was it Saturday?
Sunday. Yeah. If you didn't watch it, you probably saved yourself 90 minutes of shit. To put it politely.
No.
First half we were all right, but second half, oh Jesus Christ! It makes you appreciate Dan Scar and Galloway, that you have two sexy good defenders, because my lord, without them that would have been a car crash of a defeat. I don't even know what Mike Cooper was doing. He's normally a lot more composed than he was in goal on Sunday. But moving on, don't really want to talk about Argyle. Wolf says Kenny has the worst opinions.
I was going to agree with all your players.
Dumb television.
Shut up, man. Shut pipe down. Your team lost 2-0 to City, I'm afraid. We don't have that. Your team lost 2-0 to City. Shh.
Who do you support, Kenny?
Yeah, you see, there's some confusion in it because of this United thing.
Kenny, you're so dumb. You're so dumb.
I support Oxford United now. Yeah, this source with Oxford United.
It's okay, Kenny. You can just stop talking now.
Yeah, thank you, Charl. I actually agree with you there. But no, it's been a shocking weekend for most of us. But let's get straight into it because we've got a lot to cover. Because there's been a few men that have been sacked. No, Ollie is not one of them, and we've got a pick team of the week. So let's get straight into it with the game that happened on Friday night, which has meant that Dean Smith has been sacked as manager of Aston Villa. Southampton with a 1-0 win. Charl, did you watch any of this match?
Yeah, I mean, I saw this coming for a while now. Like, Aston Villa haven't been... I mean, we all admit last season they had some bloody good games. And obviously this season it's kind of not turned out to be what they want. And I respect the decision, you know. They played really poorly against Southampton. I mean, I'm not underestimating Southampton, but, you know, they played poorly for Aston Villa. I think the right decision was made. I think it was time for him to go. And I respect the team for just letting him go and wanting to do better. So, you know, you always want to see, like, every team do well so you have more competition, because it's a bit boring if you don't have competition. So you want to see Aston Villa do well so you have that competition. So to see them failing like that is a little disappointing.
There's been a lot of injuries though at Villa. And I read the statement that Dean Smith put out via the LMA. And he basically went on to say that, look, there was a lot of injury to first team players. A lot of them were going to be coming back in the near future, and he felt that he was going to be able to get them to a top 10 finish. Time will tell if this was the right decision, but judging from the few comments I've seen on Twitter, some Villa fans are not happy about this decision. So it could lead to seeing who the other manager is. That comes in. There's links with Steven Gerrard, Roberto Martinez. If you get Martinez, I don't really think you've gone and improved at all. But yeah, Kenny, Southampton though, after 3 minutes they got their goal, the one and only goal of the game, scored by Adam Armstrong. Southampton are on a good little run as of late, aren't they?
They had 0 wins and now they just got 4 games unbeaten. They are now 6 points away from relegation, which, I mean, for them, for the players they've sold, is very, very good. I think Aston Villa with Dean Smith, I think it was the right decision. I remain consistent. I do not rate Dean Smith. I think he got really carried by Jack Grealish at certain points, especially last season. I mean, last season, when Jack Grealish was injured, they were in the form table. They were 19th. Only Wolves being below them. So,
he got carried by Jack Grealish?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, there's got to be more to Dean Smith than that. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but Dean Smith, like, he's been at the club, was at the club for 3-4 years. Got them from, like, a bit of a mediocre point in the championship table to, like, challenging for Europe at one point. Yeah, Jack Grealish, the captain, probably the main player of the team. I understand that, but you can't just be carried. Do you know what I mean? No manager, I don't think, apart in extreme cases, gets carried by players.
Do you know what? I think there's a bit of both to this. I think there is an element of Grealish really, really being that important to Villa. I obviously, you know, the club captain, someone of Jack Grealish's ability is going to be the key man. I think there is more to Dean Smith than Grealish, but I also think when you lose someone like Grealish, it's going to take time to replace him. You think Buendia, Danny Ings, Leon Bailey, they're going to take time to bed in. They're going to take time to bed in.
Definitely, that without a doubt, yeah.
And ultimately, I do think they've been a bit rash in getting rid of Dean Smith. I think I look at the teams around there. I think Norwich already down. I think Watford are probably going to go down. So I think there's one spot left. Newcastle don't look particularly great. Burnley don't look great. Leeds are looking shit. Brentford, I don't know if Brentford are going to be there or what's going to happen. So, you know, there are worse teams than Villa, and I think Villa towards the end of the season would have gone on for a good run. DC says Buendia underrated flop. I think it's far too soon to start saying stuff like this. Ravi says, Kenny, stop turning your disco lights on and off, please. I agree.
Is it actually flickering?
Hate to say it. Wolf says, well said, Paul. Grealish sold
Thank
out, Paul. Hello. He did. Prime, big up Prime. Hello, Niall, Charl, Paul, and Tyler. I think he also means Kenny in there, but
Prime.
But no, Paul, talk to me about Southampton Villa. I mean, Villa, was it too soon to pull the trigger on Dean Smith?
I probably think so. I mean, it gets to a point with every manager of a team of caliber such as Villa where it gets to a point where the manager can only take the team so far. You've seen it in cases like I think Ian Holloway at Crystal Palace, bit of a random one, but Brendan Rodgers with Liverpool.
Try not to mention Ian Holloway in front of me. My blood pressure starts to boil normally.
Okay, noted. Anyways, yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, it gets to that point. I'm not a Villa fan. I can't give a massive opinion on it, but you'd have to ask a Villa fan. A Villa fan would give you more of an in-depth opinion about it. But if that's what they feel at the club, and if that's what the fan base around the club feel, then it must be right. But then if the fans aren't, if the fans aren't there with the decision, then there might be problems there.
And that's the thing. From the very small sample of comments I've seen on social media, and I'm not about to base this whole Villa fans are thinking this, because I've read a few comments on Twitter, but judging from the few that I've seen, there's not many that are agreeing with this decision. A lot of them are not too impressed with the decision to get rid of Dean Smith. Now, as I said, it's not going to be a true reflection of what Villa fans think, because I'm not about to go ask 50,000 Villa fans what their opinion of sacking Dean Smith is. But from what I can see, not many are agreeing with it. It's an interesting debate. But Tyler, Southampton started the season off with a lot of draws, looking like they weren't going to get a win from anywhere. And now they've got 4 on the bounce. Has Ralph Hasenhüttl turned it around for them now?
No, I think he, teams have that, don't they? They have them sort of spells. You look even last year, ever since they beat Liverpool, they had a really good run after that. It's just one of them things, confidence things. Very, very good manager, I feel, that's not talked about enough. He's brought in some good players. Like, there was questions asked because obviously Vestergaard went out, Danny Ings went out, but I feel Armstrong is a very good replacement. And yeah, I think it's just one of them things, isn't it, where teams have them sort of spells. And yeah, I think he's a good little manager anyway. Well, not little, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Prime says, Charl, check DMs, please. Wolf says, nice disco lights, Kenny, dance for me.
Prime, I'm trying to shop right now.
Lewis says, for me personally, I believe it was the right time. I may have given him 1 or 2 more, but around the right time. But in all honesty, I think losing quite a lot of backroom staff didn't help. He obviously lost John Terry, didn't he? Could Frank Lampard be a good Villa manager? They have got Terry. Terry left, but Frank Lampard is in talks with a different club in the Premier League, and we'll get round to why I think it might be an even better fit for him there than at Villa.
I think Villa that wouldn't be that wouldn't be too unlikely. I mean, pairing up with John Terry, I know that isn't like the main factor, but I mean,
John Terry's not a Villa anymore. That's the thing. No. He's not.
All right.
He left.
Sorry.
He left a little while ago. But
yeah.
Frank Lampard
Right,
is in talks with a different club. Yeah, Frank Lampard's in talks with a different club. I'll explain why it is going to be a better fit, I think, especially for this season anyway. What happened to Velvizzi? Okay, he was racially abused by Arsenal fans. I would say I'm surprised, but if you met Arsenal fans, they are scum. Same, I think it was the right decision, but if we end up getting a shit manager, it would be in the mud. I agree. He will be back though. He will be back. Can he rep the man Martial now and replace Jogba? He's not actually repping Jogba anymore. He's repping Zidane. But moving on to the next game, which I'm sure Kenny is really excited about. Talk. It was the Manchester derby at the weekend. Manchester United suffering another embarrassing defeat against a big side. Kenny, a lot of United fans have said this was worse than the performance against Liverpool. How do you view it? Was it worse than Liverpool? I mean, I know City didn't bag 5 goals against you, but to be honest, the performance was, I thought, a lot worse than it was against Liverpool.
I mean, against Liverpool, we had some chances that first half. Against City, we had one chance that I can recall from the whole game, and that was from Ronaldo. He was obviously going to get at least one shot every game because he's Ronaldo.
Greenwood had one.
Oh,
it was a shot
how
from,
you forgetting that?
It was a shot from Ronaldo, ironically, that Ederson palmed into Greenwood's path, and Greenwood just unfortunately couldn't get his feet sorted out. It just came to him too quickly, bless him.
That as well, but that's 2 chances the whole game. City were just able to just control. They didn't use any of their 3 substitutes. They didn't use that speaks levels. They didn't use any of their 3 substitutes. City were all over us. It should not have been 2-0. And the thing is, though, the 2 goals they did score could have been easily avoided, and I wouldn't have been surprised if this match ended. And we could have. The second goal certainly should have definitely been avoided because it starts off. Shaw decides, nope, there's no one behind me. Maguire decides to go full bloody Dejan Lovren again. And then David De Gea decides to fuck it up with another fucking mistake. The first goal as well, what is Eric Bailly doing? This man has one good game, then Buddy goes back to what he did. That was a mirror of what he did against Liverpool a few years ago. Both goals could have been so easily avoided. But that's he ended up scoring. And that's the funny thing. We could have easily nicked a 1-0 here because City were just. I mean, there's a reason why people are saying they're not that good in the title race because they've not got a striker, they've not got a finisher. They clearly showed that. But United didn't take advantage of that. We just made more defending mistakes. We made De Gea had another howler. Well, not really a howler, but a mistake. Shaw, Maguire, all awful. Eric Bailly, awful.
I'll just say, when you expect De Gea to face about 70 shots per game, I'm going to put it politely, he's going to make a mistake every now and again. I mean, he's having to face his workload at the moment is a joke.
Yeah, I know, and that's all on the defense. I mean, I even think it from Mauer to a mistake because really, in all reality, that should not have even. That shouldn't have even. He shouldn't have even had to save it. It should have been cleared way before he had to save it from Maguire or Luke Shaw. And on the Ollie out thing, shut up, piss off. On the Ollie out thing, I do still think he will be sacked, and I have theories for this. I have reasons for this, by the way. My reasons are that
let's hear them.
The reasons are that, first of all, all the journalists reporting the news that Ole's saying are English journalists first, which means, I mean, we brief a lot of journalists a lot of the time. I mean, we did it with we've done it with Bruno Fernandes with a Barcelona thing, and we also did it with Jose Mourinho last time. If you remember, we had loads of reports saying he was staying, and then ended up being sacked that night. I don't think Ole was sacked tonight, of course, but I think what's going to happen is that I mean, we were talking about this earlier. This is your point. You say send him on holiday. I think what's happening is they're delaying it because they're delaying the announcement until they get a manager that they want, that wants them, and that they know they can get as an interim manager to the summer. And then that's why the announcement's being delayed. I think, and that manager, I think, should be that Ralph Ragnick of that interim, and then we can get Ten Hag in the summer. Mm-hmm. I think that's not a delusional take, Wolf. I think Ole will still be sacked. I think he'll probably be sacked before the protest, maybe like a Friday. But yeah, that's.
How do you think it will go for Man United if they do sack Ole fairly prematurely into the season? What do you think the next step is?
It will be the most disgusting manager bounce you have ever seen on God's green earth. When you have got players like Ronaldo, Sancho, Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, I'm not sure the Premier League wants to see Manchester United's manager bounce because it may be the most disgraceful one in Premier League history. When you've got someone like Cristiano Ronaldo up top, that manager bounce could be it could be painful to watch for almost everyone. And I would almost, if they get it right, if they get the right manager in, I would almost go down putting United favourites for a Champions League. Genuinely, it could be that mad if they get the right manager.
We face Watford next as well. So if he's happy in the international break.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got through most of the big teams, haven't you? You've only got Arsenal and Chelsea left out, the traditional lot to really face. So, I mean, Ollie's got you through they're above you right now. The traditional ones, they've sort of got through there. But we've had Kenny's thoughts, obviously. Prime says, what is Charlotte shopping for? Charl, what are you shopping for? She's muted, but she's buying dildos.
Oh, I'm buying clothes. I'm buying clothes. Buying clothes.
Ravi was right. Prime, I'm guessing clothes designer. Well done, Ravi. You win today. Unlucky United lads tried our best. Just couldn't get 3 points. We'll fight back. We are United.
Can I just ask a question? You asked, like, obviously, Prime, you can fuck off. I've seen that. Just to clarify, you're asking, like, if like, obviously with a disappointing lose, don't you actually have to be a good team to be embarrassed by your team?
Yeah, we are.
I think United have got a decent team. They've just got a really shit manager, haven't they?
I mean, it's not really just. I'm sorry. You can't just blame Ole. If we're going to blame Ole, we're going to blame Maguire for being a shit captain. De Gea showed more passion in the game, in the derby, than actually the own captain did. If we're also going to blame Maguire, we're going to blame Fred. We're going to blame McTominay for not having any experience. Yeah, that's not really his fault, but, he should have gone on loan.
Welcome. I think United fans do blame all of them. They blame Luke Shaw. They blame Harry Maguire. They blame... The reason I think a lot going at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the game against Manchester City, Mason Greenwood was playing Cam with Bruno. Like, you're already playing with 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, and you're playing Mason Greenwood in a Cam with Bruno Fernandes, and you're expecting any sort of attack from that. It's mad.
Kenny, would you agree that United's kind of lack a strong, robust spine?
What do you mean? Can you
in terms of
you lack someone? You lack someone in your midfield.
Your attacking talent is massively quality, Really, it's like I think it was Niall who said this, one of the best in Europe, and I'll agree with that. But in terms of defence, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, is that the best defence ever? And I mean that from a neutral point of view, not as let's all shit on United.
No, it's not really. I think our only defender which I think has been consistent for us and is actually decent is Varane. He's been
Varane, yeah, sorry, I forgot about him. Fair dues.
I think everyone else, based on this season only, Alex Telles you could say, but he's just not played. When he has played, he looks just decent.
I forgot he even existed.
But I think defenders. We do need defenders. Right.
I know Paul's not even putting smoke there, but to be fair, I so many United players on the fringe don't get a chance, and it is so shocking. But United.
Well, exactly. It's when Donny was warming up and he got bloody round standing ovation just for warming up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
Donny Sancho.
I thought Ollie was gonna. I thought Ollie was going to put him on. He was warming up in the 60th minute. I was like, "Fuck me, is Donny going to get more than 25 minutes in a Manchester derby?"
I genuinely I was shitting myself. I was like, "Does Ollie have a temperature? Is he feeling all right? Does someone want to go check he's not got a temperature? Because I don't think he's feeling 100%." Like
Ollie actually put on Telles, Sancho, and Van der Beek. All of the players that United fans have been calling for. It's a complete madness.
Do you think in terms of the fringe players though, Ronaldo's like the signing of Ronaldo is kind of halted that growth process, if you like.
Oh, the signing of Ronaldo,
Mason Greenwood, Rashford, stuff like that. I mean, it's a very big signing, but it's not always in a positive sense. I mean, Ronaldo's Ronaldo. He's one of the best players in the world, even at this age. Even at 36, he can go and play on for years if he wants to. Like, but I just mean in terms of the whole tactical system around him. I think in terms of Paulo Dybala at Juventus, what he saying he was going to be like the proper playmaker.
Yeah.
And since Ronaldo came in, it was a bit like I was reading a footy magazine today, and it was talking about that, and it made me wonder. Like, so it's a good little topic.
No, I agree. I thought Ronaldo's signing was pointless. But Charl, any thoughts on this game before I go to Tyler and Prime?
I mean, do you know what? It's a little bit boring. I would have liked to see a few more goals. I think it was very selfish of Man City not to get more goals because, I just think there could have been more goals. I think it was very selfish of both the Manchester teams to not get more goals. Like, really, really selfish of them. I would have liked to see more goals. I would rather have had an annihilation than a 2-0. Like, a little bit boring through the breaks without the goals, waiting for more goals.
To be fair, Charl, I will agree. The game was bloody difficult to watch. I can't lie.
I'm telling me, I was literally, I was like ready to get those little like wooden sticks to hold my eyes open with. Like, it was painful. Like, it really was.
It was like watching a training session where City are just passing it around. It's like, bloody hell.
Do you know what it was like? It was like a train crash, and then a plane crashed into the train crash, and then a helicopter crashed into the plane and the train crash, and then a bus joined into all that crash, and then it just got worse and worse, and then it exploded.
I think I ended the watch along earlier. I think I just gave up watching it with like 3 minutes to go. I was like, "Nah, I'm done, boys. Catching a bit." But Tyler, what did you make of the Manchester derby?
Poor game, boring. It's so boring. What I will say though is, that second goal. For a second, I thought, do you remember that ghost goal when there was that ghost goal all them years ago? I thought it was like that at first because I was watching it and I was like, whoa, what's happened here? But De Gea, like, he showed the passion and that. But
Do you mean Luis Garcia?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
2005 semi-final. Oh, I'd say good memories, but I wasn't born.
yeah. But yeah,
No,
what I will say is he showed the passion and that, but he's got to be doing better on that goal. The defending's poor as well. But yeah, the thing is, if City had like a target man, it would have probably been a lot more, to be honest. It'd have been probably similar to the United Liverpool game, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah. If City had a prime Aguero that day, United aren't surviving that at all.
If City had Ronaldo,
you're dead. That's pretty much that would be that really. But prime Manchester derby, United were never going to win this game. What did you make of it? Is Prime there? Prime was that speechless about the game. He's got no words. He's speechless. Moving
Prime,
on.
don't want to come on and then don't fucking speak. It's just rude.
Thank you, Charl. Moving on to the next game.
I didn't watch that game, so I can't comment.
Oh, now you want to comment. Now you want to say something. Now when we've moved on to the Brentford Norwich game. Oh, now
because I didn't watch the game, so I can't.
It's called manners, Prime. All you have to say is, "I did not watch the game." Not hard, like five. Well, yeah. After I told you, you were being rude.
Pipe down. DC says Prime DualShock 4 disconnected. Oh, love that. But moving on, Norwich finally got their first win of the season, but it was not enough to keep Daniel Farke in a job because he was sacked later on that afternoon or evening, which would suggest to me that he had already been sacked before that, or the decision had been made. I don't think he gave much indication in his post-match press conference he was going to survive. But instead of talking about the game too much, he didn't know because the stuff he was saying in his press conference. He was like, the longer we work together, the better we'll get, and he had no idea.
So little. Oh, bloody hell.
But it was a little. It was,
and that's what happens when it's hard to find a place to put your iPads.
That is true. It's a tough one. But instead of talking too much about the game, I want to talk about the new manager that Norwich are looking at. One of the names mentioned, or one of the three, because apparently there's three on the list. One of them is indeed Frank Lampard. Now, everyone will know that at Norwich at the moment is a certain midfielder called Billy Gilmore. Would Frank Lampard be the perfect fit for Norwich? Charl, are you there? Or is it when I mention Frank Lampard, Chelsea fans disappear?
No, he shouldn't go to Norwich. He's that Norwich team is not good enough anyway. Do people think he's going to keep them up? No.
But Prime, think about it logically. He goes down to a championship where Norwich have one of the biggest budgets and one of the best teams to bounce back. He gets a year to shithouse a win and win a title in the championship. What's wrong with that?
Why would he want to? Then why didn't he just take? He didn't want to take the Palace job for fear of getting relegated. It doesn't make sense to then take the Norwich job.
Because I think he's becoming apparent that not many clubs are trusting him, which is a fair point.
Then and also, if he really wants to learn the job, he actually needs to leave the UK, go manage abroad, go Germany, go Spain, go Holland, go actually learn the game of football. Not going to learn anything, getting relegated, winning the championship, and coming back up again. That's not going to teach you anything. And also, he's not going to win the championship as well. So,
I think you underestimate what the parachute payments do for teams like Norwich.
No, I don't. I think you underestimate that there are better managers than Frank.
It doesn't, mate. In the Championship, it doesn't matter if you're a better manager. With the amount of money they get for just being relegated from the Premier League, they shithouse their way through the Championship easily. Trust me, I've watched the EFL for more years than I care to imagine. Teams like Norwich, they'll always win, or they'll be up there because, to be frankly honest, they get about, I think it's £112 million just for being relegated. Like their transfer budget is disgusting.
What's that for? Like compared to compared to someone like, I don't know, someone finished in the playoff, got playoff runners up. How much would they get compared to the likes of Norwich?
Oh, peanuts! I think you get.
Is it to compensate the wages that the players get from the Premier League? Or
yeah.
I understand that, but there's got to be some kind of equality at the same time, and you can further go onto that.
Right.
From
So
you can further talk about how unequal the Premier League and the rest of the Football League is in terms of like revenue and money. But I think that's another subject as a whole. That's another problem that needs facing in itself.
So each team were given 34 million per year. TV deal. 82 million they get for regardless of where they finish. Just trying to work out. They get a fair bit, but not as much as you would, because parachute payments are payments every 3 years. Also, big up to Wolf. I will catch you in a bit. But Prime, yeah,
he's better than the Championship as well. That's what I'm saying. They're not.
No, he's not.
He is. He's not going to learn anything. He is better than the Championship. He's not going to learn anything in the Championship. Like, he should go abroad. He's not going to learn anything in there.
I mean, technically, he was Derby County manager, wasn't he? And got to the playoff final with Derby, and then obviously they didn't get promoted, and he went on to Chelsea. Maybe that could be another chance of maybe getting something out of the Championship and further learning. And the EFL is a very competitive league as well. Like, I'm sure you'll agree, Niall. The Championship's a very, very competitive league.
I know it's competitive, but he's not. If he wants to be a top manager, he's not learning the right things being in the Championship.
But he's also very young.
But I know, but that still doesn't diminish what I said. Like what he was supposed, if things had gone correctly, what he was supposed to do at Derby, get them up within 2 seasons, establish them as a Premier League mid-table club, and then maybe try and push from there at another club. Now, how things have gone bad with Chelsea and stuff, he should actually go abroad. Like, being in the Championship and being a manager that's known for winning the Championship and being in a relegation battle in the Prem, or maybe finishing mid-table once or twice in the Prem. That's not the career he aspires for himself.
It depends what
manager. He should
opportunities he get. Doesn't it? It depends who's offering the opportunities, whether that be Spain, Holland, France, Italy, whatever.
He got the opportunity for Celtic.
Did he? Definitely.
He declined it. He also got the opportunity for Palace, which would have been a good job, and he declined that as well. So that's my point of Norwich. It would be a bad step.
Not to underestimate Celtic. But what in an environment like the Scottish Premier League, the Scottish Premiership, how easy / tough would that be for him in terms of learning something? Couldn't he be better learning something from maybe the Italian league, the Portuguese league?
I agree. That's why I said
German league.
I agree. That's why I said he should go abroad.
But I also don't. I'll be completely honest. He's not too good for the Championship. His tactics have proven that by quite a mile. right? He would, I'm sorry, but looking at some of the tactics he deployed at Chelsea, they were barbaric. You would never see Championship managers doing that.
Yeah, and when he was in the Championship at Derby, he had an average squad and he got to the playoffs.
Yeah, but he'd also brought in a fair few loans that worked out quite well. But I think at the end of the day, some tactics he deployed you wouldn't see in the Championship because at the end of the day they weren't good enough. I think Frank Lampard also, the good thing with a Championship is the pressure's off. There's not much media spotlight on the Championship. So it's actually the perfect place for him to go and relearn some of his skills because I don't think he quite got everything right. I think his man management left a lot to be desired for, just as Tomori. I thought some of his tactics were horrific. I mean, never have I seen a manager play of a hexagon with two midfielders in the middle. I don't know what that was about.
You want to talk about man management and tactics and all of that. You're going to learn that going abroad.
You're also going to learn that in the Championship.
By the way, I'm not diminishing the Championship as well at all. I know it's a good league. However, if he wants to be that top end manager, and by the way, I say this with all English managers that are coming up right now, go abroad. You're not going to learn anything being in the Championship or being in the lower end of the Premier League, because the likelihood of you doing well, like for example, the likelihood of you doing well for a few years, are you ever going to get that chance? Like Eddie Howe was in the Prem for so long, and for 2-3 years he was doing very well, and people were saying, oh, he could get shouts to take the Arsenal job. He never got that chance at a big job, and he got relegated. Same with Sean Dyche. He was doing very well with Burnley. People were saying that, oh, he could get a big job one day. Never got that chance. That's why I'm saying go abroad. It'll be a lot easier for you to go abroad, even at a mid-table club or a relegation club. Learn there, and you'll actually get your chance at a big club back in the Prem, rather than being in the Championship and having to work back again. It's a lot easier and a lot better.
Imagine Sean Dyche managing someone abroad, like a Spanish or an Italian Burnley. Oh my God!
He would work in the Italian league, Sean Dyche. Maybe. But again, that's my thing. Of you want to actually learn, go abroad. Or if he's going to go to the Championship now, fine, but don't stay there your whole career. Don't stay in England your whole career. Go abroad and learn. Like there's so much value in doing that.
I'm not saying he should stay in the Championship forever, but I will say that he's not too good for a Championship. Simple. I think he's actually a Championship level manager. I think that's been proven. His tactics are way, way, way too shocking, and his man management needs a lot of work. So I do think that the Championship is probably Lampard's level at the moment, and it's not unfair to say that. Big up to DJ Sav. No English managers tend to go abroad, and when
a few of them has. I think Roy Hodgson has.
Hodgson
Gary Neville did.
Yeah.
Well, Gary Neville.
I mean, I don't know whether you can say that he learned anything but.
He learned never to be a manager. That's
David Moyes went to Real Sociedad. Obviously, British, not English.
But context with David Moyes. David Moyes is actually a very good. He's a very, very good manager. Man United was a thing where he kind of set up to fail. Then being on the back of bad managerial appointments, going to Sunderland and stuff, going to Valencia, which was it Valencia he went to? Which was
Real Sociedad.
Which was another bad appointment. I'm not just saying go abroad for the sake of going abroad. You have to have the right appointment. You know what I mean? And also Gary Neville. I don't think I respect him as a pundit, but I don't think tactically he's good as a manager. Frank is a good manager tactically. He's not good enough for the challenging winning titles. Not now, obviously not. But that's why I'm saying go and get that experience. Go and learn. And learning that abroad is worth that.
He's not good tactically. That's one of the areas that needs that's one of the areas that need massive improvement with him. I think he's got it in him, but I think right now there's no way he's good tactically. But I want to move on because I want to move on because we've got so many games and we've managed to get through 3 of them. But actually, Prime, whilst you're here, let's talk about this game, which was Chelsea stumbling against, believe it or not, Sean Dyche's Burnley. Prime, a 1-1 draw. I've said this before. I don't think any top team or any of the title challengers, no one's running away with it. I think you're going to drop points. It's going to be who drops less points, in my opinion. But what did you make of the 1-1 draw against Burnley?
It's confirmed things I've already known, that our forward players our creativity is it's not clinical. Like all this stats and stuff people want to bring up of we create the most or second most chances is not, it's quite fake, because when you actually look into it, how many of them are real clear-cut chances? Like, for example, Man City, even though they lack a striker, they lack a goal scorer, they still create an abundance of clear-cut chances. So
he played Phil Foden as false nine last year. I don't think he even played with a proper striker.
So eventually, City are bound to score 2, 3, 4 goals, even if they don't have a striker. Like Liverpool, like Salah and Mane, they're not really that clinical, but they create an abundance of chances, so they're bound to score.
I think I can beg to differ in terms of Mohamed Salah. Like,
okay, but
he is a clinical player. There's no denying that whatsoever.
Okay, he's not. But can I get to my point? My point is, our only clinical player that we have is Lukaku, and when he does play, like, we don't create for him. Like, people have said his last 7 games before he got injured, he wasn't getting goals, but he hasn't scored. But people don't look at the context of, before that, his first 6 games for us, we were creating bare bone chances for him. Like against Villa, he scored 2 goals, and we only just created 2 chances for him. Zenit, when he scored, we only created 1 chance. Man City, when we lost, we only created 1 chance for him, 1/2 chance for him. Against Juve, again, 1/2 chance. Arsenal on his debut, we only got 2 chances for him, 3 chances for him. Like, we don't create enough. We don't create enough chances.
With all the attacking players you've got, I'm thinking Pulisic, I'm thinking Cho, Ziyech, Havertz, Mount. All of these players that are claimed to be great creators. People big up Cho. They big up Mount as one of the best midfielders in world football, which I think is barbaric at best. With all of these creators, why are you not creating chances then? And also, might add, with Thomas Tuchel as well. I mean, what is the problem with creating chances at Chelsea?
It's not with Thomas Tuchel. Like, when you're a forward player, there's only so much a manager can do. Like, if you're not, like, and plus these players are young as well. Like, for me, as much as signing a goal scorer was important in the summer, we also need an elite level creator. Like, if we had signed Sancho, I know he's performing bad at United right now, but I would have liked that, because at least he's an elite level creator who is readily proven. Like, a lot of the, and even then he's still young, so he would have taken like a season to adapt. Like, all our forwards are young. Like, I want someone to come in with experience who could just lead that line and take things by the scruff of the neck. And we don't necessarily have that. It might take a thing of they're going to dip in and out of form, which will take time. And by the way, I don't mind that, so long as Chelsea fans can agree of it might take a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, for them to reach a level where we can kick on. And that's fine, by the way. But so long as we then don't start flip-flopping and scapegoating this manager, because if things don't work out, because if these forwards can't finish, we don't win the league, Tuchel will get the sack. And if he gets sacked, there's no one else out there anymore.
There's no way Thomas Tuchel gets sacked after, like, he's the top of the league and he's just won your second Champions League ever.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this season. I'm just saying, like, in general, I know what's going to happen. I can see the pattern. I don't know.
Tuchel does need to consistently win trophies to keep himself a job. I think Roman Abramovich has proven that enough times to.
But yeah, this game was just, I don't know. We do need Lukaku back, because again, these small games is the reason why we bought Lukaku, because we were struggling last season, the season beforehand, for the past 2, 3, how many years, struggling against these lesser sides we couldn't beat. Burnley, Southampton, Brighton, etc., etc. We couldn't break down because we can't break down low blocks. Like, Chelsea fans want to blame Ross Barkley yesterday because his decision making in the final third was off. Barkley didn't play any different from how Mason Mount, Havertz, Callum, etc. have been playing this season and last season. Barkley didn't do anything wrong in that retrospect. But yeah, people want to scapegoat him. People don't want to talk about Callum, who should have scored from the chances he had. Havertz, he scored a goal, yes, but maybe he could have done better as well. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because I'm pessimistic, to be fair enough. But like, if we don't win the league, I know what our drawback is. I know what our deficiency is, and our deficiency is equal to City's deficiency of a lack of a goal scorer, and it's similar to Liverpool's deficiency of their defense. We've got the same level of deficiency, so it's just who's the best manager that can get the best out of the players that they have to win the league. It's probably too close, but it is what it is.
DJ Sav says, was at the match prime. I can tell you Burnley were lucky to come away with a draw. Should have been 3 or 4 up. If it was not for Pope, we are creating chances. Norwich, we smashed 7 past them.
The 7 we scored against Norwich is an anomaly though, because I've seen games like that. We don't like on a different day. That Norwich game, it ends 2-3-0. Realistically, so that game is massively an anomaly. We shouldn't look at that as a main sort of focus. Like we shouldn't. Chelsea fans shouldn't look at that as saying that is our normal level, because when you look at that at Norwich, we're then going to have games like Burnley where we draw 1-1 or 0-0. Then all of a sudden you're going to like, what are you then going to say? Are you going to go even harder on these players because they didn't perform to a 7-0? Or are you going to be realistic and say that 7-0 is just an anomaly? It's not going to happen again.
Do you know what? I didn't watch the game personally, but I've just been looking at I've just been watching the highlights. Then Burnley do well to come away with the draw. It looks as if Chelsea have a lot of chances, which maybe they should finish more of. I'm looking at the stats now. Dominated possession 70%. Expected goals 2.28 to Burnley's 0.82. 25 total shots and 23 chances created to Burnley's 5 shots and 6 chances created. As I say, expected goal 2.28 compared to 0.82. It seems on paper and from what I've just seen, a game where Chelsea have just struggled to break the team down, which I've seen Liverpool do many a times, like last season and all that. And I think it's just it looks as if it's just one of those days for them, like it was for us on Sunday.
But isn't it that again a creativity issue? Like again, and things like that do continue to happen with us. Like if Lukaku had played, we probably would have won the game. To be fair, however, but there still would have been a creativity issue because these players don't create properly for Lukaku either. So like when these past few games of Lukaku,
I'd say
I know it's
only
been
been there
time
since the summer.
I know it's give it time, and I'm not blaming Lukaku, by the way. He's been brilliant. I'm talking about the other players because people say without Lukaku we seem a lot more fluid. There's more interchange. However, there's still a problem of we don't finish, and we also don't create properly either. So, like, what exactly do people want? Do people want to look at a 7-0 that's a complete anomaly, or do they want to be realistic and look at, for example, Southampton? We were drawing was at 1-1 for so long, struggling to break them down until the final stages of the game, or against Senate that we just beat 1-0 when realistically they should have been 2-0 up before we went 1-0 up. Against Juve that we were poor, we couldn't break down, and they beat us. You know, the people want to look at those games and actually look at it, you know, factually. Even against Liverpool, when in that second half with a man down, we should have beaten them. We should have beaten Liverpool with a man. We had chances to. We should have beaten you guys with a man down because Liverpool didn't get a sniff out of us. But we should have beaten you, and we didn't take our chances.
Do you know what? I'll be
fair.
You did really well that game with 10 men sometimes. And I'm not using this as an excuse, but sometimes it's harder to play against 10 men. The way he's just kind of just soaked the game, if you like. Just how compact his were and how defensively astute his were. And fair play to yous, to be honest. Liverpool should have done better in that game.
But moving on, Charl, talk to me about oh fucking hell, Rochdale or Notts County? Yeah, okay. So I was just looking at the FA Cup draw for Argyle if we get past Sheffield Wednesday. But Charl, Chelsea Burnley, what were your thoughts on the game?
It is what it is. We got a point. I mean, we had a bad game. We'll move on. Simple as that. That's about all I've got.
Okay.
I accepted. I was more angry, I think, before the Liverpool game than I am now. I'm more chilled. I accepted we have a bad game. At least we dropped points to a not so great team compared to dropping points to, well, I mean, Man City.
Hold on. So are you saying that Burnley are a better team than West Ham?
No, not West Ham. I gave one example. I can give two examples. You want Man City and West Ham are the teams I would like to beat. I don't really, but comparing Burnley would be comparing them to Arsenal or Man U or Spurs.
All right.
I can continue if you want.
Kenny,
can I just say that following off what Liverpool did on Sunday and stuff, the draw isn't. No, I'm not laughing. The draw isn't necessarily that bad because Liverpool lost, and I think the City dropped points as well. Maybe they did. So the draw against Burnley isn't necessarily okay. They beat United, yeah, but the draw isn't necessarily that bad per se. But that's the thing. We've spent the last 2-3 seasons battling for top 4 and having to rely on Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, these teams dropping points so we can sneak into the top 4. We can't do that in a title race because if there's going to be a weekend when we drop points, City are going to win, and Liverpool are going to win. And all of a sudden, that closes the gap, and then they go above us. We can't rely on these teams to drop points because City can go on a run for 10, 12, 13, 14 games. Liverpool have proven they can do that as well. We haven't proven we can just go on that run and start blitzing teams and then secure this league. So that's the sort of thing. And that's why I'm so critical of our forwards, and that's what I'm worried about. But a lot of Chelsea fans don't seem to realise that.
No, I think I said that either before we went live or as we've been live, that I've said that I do think that these have been your issue teams. These have been your bogey teams for the last few years, and you've been scraping top 4. You're in a title race now. Surely these are the teams you need to be put into a sword. But yeah, big up to Truth Settings as well. Also, Charlie, I'll speak to you in a bit. But Kenny, Chelsea Burnley, any thoughts before I go to Tyler and then we move on?
Yeah, I think it's an awful draw for Chelsea. But I think Burnley, they've been on some good form recently. Well, I wouldn't say good form, but they've got a win. Now they've got this draw against Chelsea. Yeah, I really do rate Sean Dyche, and I think this could be the start of Burnley going to survive again. I think. Yeah, that's really my only thoughts on it because I wasn't able to watch the game.
Aaron says, no, mate, we've got Mansfield. Argyle got either watched or Notts County. Should be interesting. Absolutely. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up Truth. Tyler, any thoughts on this game?
What I will say is Burnley, obviously, they would have had confidence from the 3-1 win in the previous week to Brentford. And the thing is with Burnley, people obviously put them in the relegation battle and all that. They always find a way to stay up. And I think the same's going to happen again. I don't think they'll get relegated because, as I said, they always seem to find a way. Sean Dyche always seems to find a way. But yeah, the chances Chelsea had, the game should have been put to bed, in my opinion. But, Yeah.
No, I hear that. Palace beat Wolves 2-0. We won't really talk about that too much, but Vieira were doing very well over there. Brighton and drew 1-1 with Newcastle. Dunk had's going goal for the last 5 minutes, which was an interesting watch. Dunk actually did quite well in goal. I did think Newcastle should have challenged him a bit more. Yeah,
that was quite.
Sanchez got sent off. Yeah, Sanchez got sent off, and Newcastle had a free kick, and they decided to put in a cross instead of taking a shot and testing what Dunk is like as a goalkeeper. Put in a cross that never actually made it anywhere near the goal. So it was a strange 5 minutes, but a 1-1 draw there. But I want to talk Arsenal. Charl has got to go. Charl,
can I
shout out where they can find you?
No, I want to slag Liverpool off for 5 minutes before I leave, please.
5 minutes? You can have a minute.
Okay, great.
Why are you so anti-Liverpool?
Pardon? I mean, I always have it. There's no shock here. There's no change in my personality.
It's just a genuine question because you just genuinely seem to really dislike Liverpool.
It's not the team itself. It's the fans. Not like I'm not saying you, but I don't know you very well. I can't judge you on that. But the Liverpool fans are such cocky twats. Oh, they really pissed me the fuck off. So anytime I can piss them off, I'm fucking taking this opportunity. But I mean, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. It was a poor game from Liverpool. I'm not gonna be too much of a dick, but I mean, yeah, you guys were pretty. I mean, Alisson was shocking as shit. Trent Alexander-Arnold, wow, he caused the second and third goal. So, I mean, best right back in the world, Reece James. Wow, even bringing Trent Alexander-Arnold. My right back never makes mistakes like that. Thank you. But Liverpool was shocking. Alisson was shit. That's all I've got to say. It was just shit. West Ham were phenomenal. Great job. Well done, Zuma, on the third goal.
Didn't Trent get a goal and an assist?
Yeah, and he also handed them 2 goals. So counters out everything he's done.
Hold on. What goals did Trent hand him?
Pardon?
Trent didn't hand anybody any goals, like?
He did the second and the third. Like, come on.
I can think one time. No, we are listening. I can think one time where he kind of misses the ball and he should do better. I'll give you that one. But
the second and the third were mistakes. He made mistakes leading up to that goal. Like, we're not just going to...
Kurt Zuma's header, yeah, actually. Kurt Zuma, there's absolutely no one marking Kurt Zuma there. He should do better. I think the Liverpool defence... I
don't know about you, but Virgil van Dijk was absolutely getting played by Antonio. Like, I
don't know. I think he got the better side of Antonio quite a few times. I thought he had a good game. Like, every time,
like I was watching the game, and every time, like, Antonio had the ball, all I saw was Van Dijk running after him. Like Van Dijk was on the wrong side of him.
I don't know. Like, you would have seen a lot of times where Van Dijk would have blocked a lot of his shots. I'm not.
No. You can talk about the good all you want, but there, unfortunately, in this game was more negatives than positives.
Can I just pick you up on one thing you said there?
Okay. Yeah.
You said that Reece James doesn't make these mistakes.
Yeah.
The positioning of him and Rudiger for Burnley's goal was atrocious.
I mean, there's absolutely no one round that player there as there weren't anyone round Kurt Zuma.
I mean, I remember Reece James just doing phenomenally. I also remember Hudson Odoi doing phenomenally. I'm just saying, both of them had
your defender also makes those mistakes.
Why was Reece James man of the match then? I'm just curious. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
he can still be man.
I know, but doesn't it balance it out though?
Yeah, he does. I'm sorry, Reece James.
One minute. You can still be man of a match and make a mistake. Like,
yeah, so one mistake compared to handing West Ham to a goal.
I don't think Burnley a goal. But all I'm saying is,
I think the difference is.
To be fair, I don't think the difference is we shouldn't be comparing Liverpool to Chelsea. Chelsea at top of the table right now, and Liverpool aren't. I think that's the end of discussion.
No, it's not that. I think the difference is
what?
Because Trent
comparing Liverpool. You're calling us cocky. I mean, it's only 10 games into the season. We're only 5 points.
And no. You want to have this conversation? That's cool. Remind me Remind me whose team was 10 men down and whose team couldn't get a goal past them. Or that would be your team because you failed miserably.
Remind me whose team
Can
was
I
10
just
men
say,
down and was 5-2 to West Brom.
Fucking hell. You hate
Kenny,
Liverpool, man.
we haven't even played Man U yet. Pipe the fuck down. You're not even ready for this shit. Come on.
Charlie,
Wait,
Liverpool live rent-free in your head.
Can I just say that it is statistically harder to play against 10 men? I'm not having a go. I'm just saying statistically it is harder for some reason. I think it's because the defensive team or the team that goes down to 10 normally sit a bit deeper and it's harder to break them down. I don't know.
Do you know what?
Wait, hold
Charlotte,
on. Niall,
you are champions of
you
Europe, and for that, well done. Yeah, you are top of the league, and for that, well done. But
Niall,
it is only 10 games into the season.
Oh no! I'm not.
6 games.
Just to clarify, not stating. I'm not being out here like we're gonna lead the table. Do I think we have like a good bloody like 80% chance that we're gonna win the Premier League? Probably yes. Am I saying we're gonna stay? Am I saying we're gonna stay top of the league for the whole season? Probably not. But for the time being, I'm happy being top of the league. Just like if your team was top of the league, you would be really happy now.
I completely understand that. But the way you're saying you can't compare Chelsea and Liverpool. I mean, you obviously can. Yeah, we got beat by West Ham.
I didn't mean like you can't compare West Ham. Like right now, you can't. If you'd won the game, we could have had a conversation. But you lost, and it's not a good start. So when you win again,
okay, yeah.
So it's just about the winning. No, this week. I'm not talking about. And I'm talking about this week. Sorry, I forgot to mention just this week. Like just this week, literally.
I was just, to be fair, Charl, I was thinking about it when you said it. I was like, if she.
I meant like this week. Like this week was a bad week. I was about to say, when we come back from international break next, and you guys win, that's a different conversation. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say, if you're on about that generally, I think.
No. I'm sorry. I wasn't specific. Then I do apologize.
I think even I might have jumped in and gone, "Shall you?"
No. I literally just meant this week. That's all.
But Prime was saying my name. So Prime, what did you want to? It was after I mentioned about.
I am going to go now because I do have to go. I have to be up at 6.
That's Sam. But cheers for coming on, Charl.
Bye, guys. Catch you in a bit. Have a good evening.
Bye. You catch you in a bit. But yeah, Prime, what did you want to talk about, mate? It was after I mentioned statistically harder to play against 10 men.
Oh, I was going to make a joke and saying that I get what you're saying, but, the best team in Premier League history, that's not an excuse I'm going to give them. But Liverpool, yeah? How bad their defense is, this is something I called back in the summer. Actually, no, not in the summer. Back last season, because...
We'll get back to Liverpool. I wanted to...
When we had a makeshift defense.
Are we not?
I mean, I can understand that last season, but...
You're trying to refute points. You haven't heard what I'm saying.
Well, mate, we'll get back to Liverpool. Charl only done that because she had to go. I want to actually talk about Arsenal. And believe it or not, Liverpool, I am getting into Liverpool. Don't worry. They are on the list, the agenda, shall I say? But I wanted to talk about Arsenal briefly. Their fans have got awfully hyped up, awfully fucking quickly, for beating teams like Norwich, Watford, and I know they beat Spurs, but that Spurs was crap. Kenny, I'll start with you.
Don't know what happened there. Sorry.
Arsenal. That's right, mate. Not a problem. Kenny, Arsenal. How are you viewing their season? Because their form, they're looking good, but yeah. Also, Jay says, I had a look at a League One table earlier today. Plymouth are doing well and Doncaster not so much. Now must be absolutely rinsing, Aaron. I am absolutely destroying them. Truth says, now Prime Charlotte, do any of you know what happened to Wayne? I can't find his YouTube channel or Twitter anymore. Prime?
Wayne, I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I don't know. I think he's just taking a break from stuff. So
Yeah, I think so as well. I would like to welcome Sadio Mane to Ben Johnson Penitentiary. We'll get into them. Don't worry. But I wanted, as I said, to talk about Arsenal. Kenny, how have you viewed their rise up the league, shall we say, from 18th to I think they're 5th now. Their fans are talking about Champions League football now, which I think is slightly embarrassing.
I thought this game they were really, really poor. I thought this game they were very, very lucky to end up getting the win. Now I know they had a penalty and a goal disallowed, but aside from that, there are a few chances. I thought. By the way, just a shout out. I thought Ben Foster had an amazing game, but apparently his YouTube career hinders his footballing career. I don't know, but he had an amazing game. Back to Arsenal, I still don't rate him. I think this is just one of those spells that Arsenal always have every season, where they end up being like top 5. They're on a good run, and then they're gonna end up going back on an awful run at one point. They've shown they can't face the big teams, Man City, Chelsea.
They got Liverpool coming up, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be a hard game. I mean, in terms of how we've been playing recently. That's definitely not going to be a walk in the park.
I think it will be. I think the thing is, though, I think Arsenal. I think it's tough to say, really, but I just still think I need to see this for at least until February. If they're still in this position, then we can have a conversation. But until then, they just I've seen so much hype around them for so many seasons in a row, and they just failed. They just finished 8th every season.
Do you know what, Kenny? That might be one of the maturest things you've ever said on this channel. So I would like to congratulate you for what actually is quite an honest and decent opinion. So
hold on now,
congratulations.
don't do that. I get
Kenny.
that. No, someone literally said that on Twitter. Don't do that.
Yeah, but Prime. Kenny doesn't get praised actually ever, so I want to give him a little bit of praise there. But I want to go to Paul. Paul, talk to me about Arsenal. Where do you see them? Because some of their fans are talking about Champions League football next year. Some of their fans are even suggesting they might win the Premier League, which I think is barbaric at best.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win the They're not going to win the Premier League. I don't think.
Really.
I mean, where are they now? They are on the 5th on 20 points, 2 points off us. Oh well, that's going to be fun. I mean, if things go well for them, they could well finish in the top 4. I can definitely see them getting into Europe and maybe a trophy here and there. But yeah, I mean, short term, we've obviously got them after the international break, and it's going to be a fun little afternoon. I cannot wait to watch it. Yippee-ki-yay.
I'm thinking if they start Tavares against Salah Trent, that might be the biggest mistake Mikel Arteta has ever made in world football. I would definitely be playing Kieran Tierney at left back that day. Even though Kieran Tierney's not been the greatest left back of all time this year, I think he is better than Tavares against them two. But Tyler, Arsenal, what's your view on them?
I think they're all right. You know what I mean? Like as we said earlier, they have that spell where they have a good couple of games, then they fall back. I think like Paul said, I think they might get Europe, not like the Champions League. I think they might get the Conference League. And I know loads of their fans will not be happy with that one, but yeah, the top 4, their team's not good enough. Like it's just simple as like it's just it's not good enough. But I wanted to talk a bit about the upcoming game after the international break with them a little bit. As Paul said, I totally agree. I think it's going to be tough the way we have been, and obviously Arsenal will be confident. All right, it wasn't the most convincing win against Watford, but it was a win, and obviously they've won a few of their last few games, so it's not going to be easy at all, like he said. So yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And Prime, your favourite team and your favourite fan base. What do you make of Arsenal?
I think Arsenal fan, that were they fifth? Yeah, I think they should relax on this, gas, because, like, realistically, the teams they've beaten are teams their fan base expect to beat anyway, because they assume that they're already better than. So, like, beating Spurs 3-0 and beating Villa and stuff like that, like, doesn't really show much to me. Because Leicester have been poor this season, Villa have been poor this season, Spurs have been poor this season. But when you get a draw against not Burnley, Brighton, who had their second choice defense and a second choice midfield, and you can't even beat them, that says something to me. When you get a draw against Crystal Palace, who I know Crystal Palace have been great this season, but you're telling me you're better than Palace and Brighton, and yet you struggle against them. That says something to me, because Palace, again, they didn't have Zaha, and I think they were missing another forward as well. Like, they didn't have their full strength team. Brighton didn't have their full strength team, and you're struggling against these sides. So, like, I know they're playing well now, and also the big benefit of not having Europe, but something's going to happen again this season. They'll go through another bad run, and things will already pivot and switch. And also, if, like, I don't know, like, I just think they should not get, like, gassed. Like, the hype of they've got a potential title-winning defense. You know, people saying, like, some people are saying that Gabriel is, you know, can be Thiago Silva and stuff like that. People saying Ben White is better than Varane. You know, like, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? Someone said that, oh yeah, Mendy's as good as Ramsdale. Like, did you hear what I just said? Mendy, who has the best defensive record in the Champions League and who has the best save percentage in the world right now, or even at that stage a few weeks ago, Mendy is as good as Ramsdale. Like,
I will just say, even though I am I rate Ramsdale a lot. I've bigged up this lad for some time. He's not near Mendy. I'm just waiting for the Smith Rowe is, you know, Bruno De Bruyne level.
No, but he's not.
Well, no, but I'm just waiting for Arsenal fans to say that.
Yeah, but like we talk about Liverpool when Salah and Mane go to AFCON, they'll struggle, or Chelsea when Mendy goes to AFCON, Chelsea will struggle. Will Arsenal not struggle as well? Because Elneny's going, and what's his name? Partey's going as well. That depletes their midfield already, so they're going to have to play Xhaka and Lokonga all the time. Pepe is not starting for Ivory Coast, but he'll probably be going to AFCON as well. Like Saka, I rate Saka highly, but he's not a great forward player. And do you want to rely on him when he's already been part of the season? You're going to overplay Smith Rowe. He's going to burn out. You can't consistently rely on Lacazette and Aubameyang, can you? Tierney's an injury prone. Like, you know, the first 3 games when Arsenal fans kept saying, we don't have our first choice players. We've got injuries in these positions. So if you get said injuries again, if you get an injury to Tierney or an injury to Gabriel or Ben White or Partey, etc., what are you then going to do? You're then going to drop back down because you don't have that squad depth. So like that's my thing, because people are, because they twist the narrative of stats and say, oh, we've been unbeaten since like 9 games or 10 games or whatever, but they don't take the context of, let's look at the full season. And Arsenal fans always do this. You know, they'll start the season well and have a little dip, and then like by the time the season ends, you can skew the stats and say, oh, from you know, January 21st until the end of the season, we're third in the league. We're in and we're 5 points behind the league leaders. Oh, next season, if we sign this player and that player, we can challenge. Like, they always do this repetitive cycle again. They're not going to make they're dark horses for to get Champions League football, because I already said that start of the season. And as bad as Man United are right now, even with Ollie, they can still make top 4 genuinely. Spurs, they now have Poch. They're better than Arsenal in terms of I'll trust them to make top 4. Leicester, I know they're performing bad, but they've got the quality players there, right? If they sack Brendan Rodgers and bring in someone of quality, they can go and make top 4. Aston Villa have got quality players as well. If they make a right appointment, I'm not saying they'll make top 4, by the way, but they could challenge and push for it. The more teams around pushing for that 4th, 5th, 6th spot with Arsenal, they're going to crumble because they're not built for that competitive fight. And also, you've got better managers going up against Arteta who will just tactically outclass him.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Moving to the next game, we're not covering a 0-0. Everton 0, Spurs 0. Conte football seems to be going well. Leeds drew 1-1 with Leicester. RV Barnes with the equaliser for Leicester. Love to see it. The last game, obviously, we'll talk about is West Ham versus Liverpool. Now, Paul, I'll go to you. Yeah, no, I can see the delight in your face about talking about this one, but I'll go to you first. You've heard, obviously, what a couple of rivals think, but what do you think of this game?
Yeah. Well, I'll start off by saying fair play to West Ham. West Ham had a really good game, played well, outclassed us. I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans with the first goal and the Aaron Cresswell challenge. They say, "Oh well, if these decisions don't go against us, it's a different game," which I understand, but you've got to look at it from a whole context, which I think, again, a lot of Liverpool fans have. This is just another portion. I think the first goal, the Ogbonna goal, see, it's his arms that are up. It's the debate of whether he's impeding Alisson. But you could argue that Alisson should do better. Yeah, it's 1-1 from there. And then they get the second one. Which one was that again? Was that the corner?
Think so.
Think so, yeah.
It was the I think it was
the through ball.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, that Pablo Fornal scores.
Yeah.
I think just the way we play as a whole, as like counter pressing, gegen pressing, we leave ourselves open to that kind of kind of counter attack, and that's just a consequence. We should do better. I'm not denying that at all.
Yeah.
But that's something that we can be subject to. The third goal for West Ham, no one's picking up Kurt Zuma. Kurt Zuma's as free as the air. I do not know who's picking him up. Like, I'll be fair to Charl. Trent Alexander-Arnold maybe should do better, but I think it's just collectively a defender should be on him. He just has all the space in the world to get his head on.
Is that from a set piece?
Yeah.
What the fuck is Trent Alexander-Arnold doing man marking Kurt Zuma? Like, can someone explain how that happens?
I don't even know whether it was classed as man marking.
If someone's meant to be marking Kurt Zuma, I'm sorry, but Van Dijk or Matip or Jordan Henderson are three that should be going for him, because he's a big centre back. He's not some tiny little short ass, is he?
No, he's a unit, Kurt Zuma. Like, as I was saying, though, I think we do well to get it back to 2-1. Lovely goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I love it. He proper, like, takes it really, really well. Divock Origi, when he came on and got the second for us, that's something that we don't see from Divock Origi as often as we should. There's a big debate about whether Origi is good enough for Liverpool in terms of someone to come off. But I mean, if he's bringing those out of the bag, but he doesn't bring those out consistently enough, and that's where the debate comes in. But he does really well. Not the best game for our midfield, not the worst game for our attack. As obviously. Defense. I think Van Dijk had a good game against Antonio. Obviously, Obviously, it wasn't. Obviously we conceded 3 goals. Yeah, I know, a big elephant in the room. But in terms of his battle with Michael Antonio, he does well in some instances. So that was nice. That was like a glimpse of him back to his best. Yeah, fullbacks don't have the best game in the world. Bar Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't think Robertson has the best game. And to be fair, I've heard more and more Liverpool fans talk about the Kostas Tsimikas Robbo situation. I'd have to watch it. I'd have to see Robertson again, maybe against Arsenal, see what happened. Maybe watch him against Scotland to really get a good viewpoint on it. But to sum it off, West Ham do really well. I mean, we're outclassed. It's been reoccurring. I think something we should sort out. But yeah, well done, West Ham. We go again. We've got 2 weeks to think about
I hear
it.
that. Landsey says, "How do I explain to people that a defence with Craig Dawson beat Liverpool?" Ravi says, "Well, both spamming crosses going nowhere. He should have been taken off at half time." Allison on both cameras was too fixated on Antonio and just forgets the ball. Rigi is good with his back against goal. Fair play to the Hammers. Antonio turned up looking like prime Ian Wright with Kane, Rolls, and
I like Michael Antonio. I think he's I think he's a good player. He's a good striker. He's strong. Not the tallest player in the world, but he's good. He's strong. He's fast. He's fairly agile.
He knows what he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? But Tyler,
yeah,
I'll go to you next. What was your viewpoint on the game?
Right, obviously a few things I want to say before I do a little match summary. Obviously, you lot know, if you're subscribed to my channel, the vlog I did, obviously I was in the front room, stepdad West Ham fan as well, so you already know how it was. And to go into the game, obviously fair play West Ham. Obviously I said they had a game plan. It worked. They outclassed us.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
On the first goal, what I will say is I don't think there was anything wrong with it. What I will say from a Liverpool perspective is what I seemed to find was everyone wasn't goal side bar Van Dijk. And I thought that was a bit like, what's going on there? And I didn't like the way Alisson was the guy who had to try and jump up to win the ball. I don't think there was anything wrong from a West Ham perspective. Obviously, they got the goal, but like when people are complaining about it. And then obviously the Trent goal, brilliant goal that was, brilliant free kick. Similar to the one he scored against Chelsea, I think, when we won 5-3 and the time we actually lifted the trophy in that. But yeah, obviously going 1-1 at half time and then they go 3-1 up. The second goal, I feel I don't want to have a go at Trent, but I feel that one, it was a little bit, you have to blame him there, because if you look at it again, everyone, obviously the high line doesn't help as well, and I think we need to change it up. Like, you look at previous games, this has been coming for a while. You look at the Brentford game, that's where it started really. The way teams have been getting in behind us, even Atletico Madrid, if it weren't for Alisson in that first half, we could have been losing that game. But you look at it, all the players were compact, like close together, like Van Dijk, Robertson, and Matip. Then you look at Trent, he's not on the side where the ball's been played, he's like on the left, so then it's easy for Fornals to get on that right side to finish it. So I feel I have to blame him there. And then the third goal, obviously I said they're good from set pieces. We all know that. Good header by Zuma, but the marking's not good enough there. And then when Origi got the goal, brilliant goal, but it was too little too late, really. But yeah, as I said, fair play West Ham. They had a game plan, it worked, and they outclassed us.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Kenny, thoughts on this game?
I thought it was one of Mikel Antonio's worst games. I thought it was quite poor. I think that was mainly though because of Van Dijk. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold was good attacking wise this game. Of course, he scored a great free kick. But on Liverpool, I just think they had a good first half, and they were decent. And I thought they looked like the team that was going to score until West Ham scored, and it ended up. I think that was what derailed them in the end. I think West Ham, Moyes' tactics worked, and it was mainly because that second goal, it happened, the time it happened, and then just immediately getting the third goal after that massively. I think if they didn't have that, then they wouldn't have won the game. But I thought West Ham. I mean, they're the third right now. West Ham just look so good right now, don't they? I mean, I feel West Ham, honestly.
I hear that. What about you, Prime? Give us the final thoughts on this game.
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, this is something I've been talking about Liverpool and their whole defense and everything. Van Dijk is not this holy grail that will come and save everything like people were saying that he would. I said he'd come back and look like average again, which he essentially is. We've all known, or at least I've known for years now, that Trent defensively, he's average. I can get beaten by just about anyone. There's a reason why he gets targeted and exposed that down that side. There's a reason why for England he doesn't get picked a lot and he doesn't start because
you think Van Dijk's average?
In Southgate, since he's come back from injury, yes. But anyway, in Southgate's team, actually no, even before he got injured, Van Dijk was performing average. But anyway, in Southgate's team, Southgate's defensive system,
Sorry, I don't want. I just need to stop you there. Van Dijk wasn't average.
Can I finish?
No, I'm just saying that's all.
He was okay up until before he got injured. He was playing average, but anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, there's a reason why Trent doesn't play for England because in the few games he has played for England, he's got beaten by average wingers, like very average wingers. If you've got a bit of pace or a bit of a trick in you, you can get past this guy easily. And Liverpool fans will bring up individual games where he's done well defensively. I think he's man-marked Sane out of the game in the Champions League once, or he's marked Ronaldo out of the game in the Champions League once. But those are one-off games. But on a consistent basis, this guy's like average, and he's supposed to be world-class. That's why I don't view him as being world-class. You can have a world-class attribute, which is, going forward, crossing it and stuff like that, passing. The same way, like, Bissaka, I guess, has a world-class attribute in terms of probably tackling or whatever, maybe. But that doesn't matter if all round as a fullback, all round as a player in your position, you're poor, or you're average, which he is, from what I've seen. Yeah, Van Dijk hasn't looked that well. Matip has been okay this season. Like, I just look at Liverpool, and as much as you guys can probably score 2, 3, 4 goals a game, it doesn't matter. You guys can also concede 2, 3 goals a game. So what is it? Because you're meant to have the best goalkeeper in the world, meant to have the best centre back, meant to have the best right back, the best left back, and everything. Fabinho's now back in this game, which was the excuse why you conceded another game because you didn't have Fabinho. You had Fabinho back.
Prime.
So what's the excuse now? Because this whole thing of we're just going to outscore teams, this won't win you the league. You've seen before that defenses will win you titles. You can't just keep outscoring people to win the league.
Prime. 3 things. 1, I don't know what exactly you mean by excuse. 2, Trent isn't defensively average. I think he's okay. Yeah, offensively, you could argue he's better. He's better offensively than he is defensively, but he's not average. And 3, what makes you think that Van Dijk was playing average? Do you mean in the last few games before he got injured, or as a whole? Because I can argue that like he at that point before he got injured, he was one of the best defenders in the world. And I know what you might think. Oh, I say that because I'm a Liverpool fan. I understand that, but I also think Ruben Dias. You could argue on his form he was world class last season. But I can't. I don't ever remember seeing Van Dijk as just average.
Okay,
Bar.
Trent. I'd view Trent as an average fullback because if you've got one world class attribute, which is your forward part of your game.
Okay, I disagree.
Can I? But I'm answering your points now. If your game defensively, because you are a fullback and you've got to be able to defend first. If you're average defending on a consistent basis, not just one-off games, then you are then average. If you don't agree with me, you're saying, or you want to say he's just okay. Calling someone average, okay, good, is more or less is all in the same wheelhouse. By the way, because he's not world class at defending. So if he's okay, he's average. If he's good, it doesn't. Whatever word you want to use doesn't really matter. Van Dijk, me saying he was average, in his this last season, up until he got injured, I think he was performing average, yes. And even the season you won the league, the latter part of things, I think he was performing a bit shaky. But I think you guys as a team were performing shaky. But if the excuse is that you guys won the league and you guys are you just slept off after that, then that's fine, whatever, towards the end of that season. But last season, up until Van Dijk got injured, I think he was looking at shaky and average, yes. But that's my personal opinion of it. Whether you guys agree or not, it doesn't matter. And also, I never looked at Van Dijk as the best centre-back in the world. I don't think in my personal opinion, I don't think he's ever been the best centre-back in the world.
He's world class, though. You've got to give that.
Not now, no.
Really? You like who?
He's not world class now.
Who do you determine as world class then?
Well, centre backs who are on better form than him right now. That I can name a few.
Okay, based on since we won the league.
Based on since you won the league, he was out for the majority of last season.
Okay,
so I've only got one full season to judge him off.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so based on since he won the league, I've only got one full season to judge Van Dijk off because last season, like I just said, up until he got injured, he was looking, he was looking shaky and a bit average, and then he got injured, so I can't judge last season, can I?
Yeah, no, fair enough. So I
can only judge one. But right now, based on form, centre backs that are better than him: Ruben Dias, Andreas Christensen, Antonio Rudiger, Thiago Silva. Those are four I've just named off the top of my head. Aspie, if you include him as a centre back in the three. Those are defenders I've just named off the top of my head.
Like a few more that aren't Chelsea.
John Stones up until this season, I would have named. Because I haven't focused on John Stones enough this season to be able to say anything. But up until this season, or up until the start of the season, John Stones I'd put up there. It's one of the best in the world. And also, you can also look at, if you want to look at the continent, Chiellini.
Okay, I mean, I did that. This is a whole other. What it's. I mean, do you know what? There's probably not enough time to go into it properly, but I respectfully, I'll say in some cases I do disagree with you, but.
And also, Liverpool fans said that Matip has been performing better than Van Dijk this season. So, yeah. But however, I'm just giving my opinions. If you don't, it doesn't matter if you don't agree with me. But people can't necessarily. What? Oh, all right, back. Okay.
So, I've picked out the three right backs that are always spoken about as, the three top right backs in the league. And I've picked out simple. This is all off this season, mind you. Simple defensive actions. So I've got blocks, interceptions, clearances, ground duel success rate, and aerial duel success rate. Trent Alexander-Arnold leads three of them. He leads ground aerial duel success rate by 25% on Reece James, 10% on João Cancelo. Ground duel success rate, Reece James wins by 15% over João Cancelo, 25% over Trent. Trent has made more clearances, 1.5, compared to Reece James's 0.8 and João Cancelo's 1. This per 90 as well, so it makes it fair. Interceptions, Trent has made more interceptions by 1.6 more than Reece James, 0.4 less than João Cancelo. And Trent has made 0.3 blocks, which is more than both Reece James and João Cancelo that have got none. Now, I'm not basing everything off stats because that would be dumb, but I think just based off the basic stats, to say that Trent Alexander-Arnold is an average right back, then Reece James and João Cancelo are also average right backs.
I'd just like to say as well, Van Dijk was, I'd say, a main contender for the Ballon d'Or 2020, but it wasn't, it didn't go ahead, and he did win the UEFA Men's Player of the Year as well.
And okay, didn't Jorginho just win the UEFA Men's Player of the Year? And he's also in contention for Ballon d'Or. So is it fair to say Jorginho is now one of the best players in the world?
I mean, you could argue
because
that,
a lot of people would disagree with me and just say it's on good form. So the same thing was said about Van Dijk. He had a purple patch of good form where he was amazing, and that's fine. But
can we get back to the right back situation?
Yeah.
What more does Trent need to do? Judging from a stats that he's not already doing himself already. What more does he need to do? Because right now he's clear of both João Cancelo and Reece James on defensive actions. And I've not even put attacking actions here.
I know about his attacking actions though. That's fine. I'm talking about defensively. And Reece James is not.
That's what I mean.
Reece James is. I know, but Reece James is also not a world-class fullback. Or at least I've never said that anyway.
Well, I just picked out the three best right backs that Premier League fans, Chelsea fans, always saying that Reece James is better than Trent. People say that João Cancelo is a world-class right back. Looking at these statistics, what more does Trent need to do then?
He needs world-class defensive statistics to match his world-class attacking statistics.
Name me a world-class right back then.
Currently, I don't think there's one that's balanced. I think Hakimi's, I could say, is world-class, but like for me, looking at a world-class balanced fullback, I'm looking at Philip Lahm, Ivanovic. I rated Gary Neville. People wouldn't probably say world-class.
Name me a world-class right back that is here and now. So that's playing now.
That's great at both sides of the game.
Or just great defensively. Just great defensively. I won't have an issue with that.
One that's great defensively, probably Aspie, but he plays right centre back or right wing back sometimes.
Right.
So I don't know if people want to include Aspie in that, but
I think it'd be unfair on Aspie if he's playing right-sided centre back. So, is there any other world-class defensive right back? I mean, some are saying Kyle Walker is up there. I disagree completely, but I can put Kyle Walker in if that. But what I want to do is I want to judge it against a world-class right back. I want to see what it comes out with.
I don't know. Take out James and put in Hakimi or something. It's fine.
I can add in Hakimi.
Yeah. But again, that's my thing of to be.
Anyone else have any ideas for?
But I don't know. That's my thing. To be a world-class fullback, you just need balance in both sides of the game. Or for me to call you the top end, and that's just my viewpoint of what my opinion of a world-class player is. People disagree, and that's fine. You've got your own metric of it.
Well, I just went and picked out the three. I'm gonna have to do it again quickly, but it didn't take long.
How long have we got left, Niall?
I was literally just gonna finish this debate and then wrap up. But whilst I'm doing this, if you've got something if you want to bring up something, I've no issue with that.
No, I was just asking you to talk. I'm just getting a bit tired and I need a shower and stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm also that. I'm literally just wrapping this bit up.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, is any other right backs people want to include?
You could include Benjamin Pavard for Bayern, but
Yeah, that's a good shout. Um,
there's not really many others.
Spinazzola.
Wait. Are we just looking at right back specifically or full backs in general?
Well, it could be fullbacks in general if you want.
Okay, so yeah, you can include, yeah, sure, Robertson or Alfonso Davis, Hernandez, Theo Hernandez.
Theo Hernandez, yeah. All right, let me just quickly edit the stats. 2 seconds. Defensive actions. Boom, boom, boom. Defense. No. Jules. All right. There we go. Right. Right. So I've currently got them. Pavard has 100% aerial dual success rate. I don't know how legitimate that is. Pavard looks insane, but Trent doesn't look out of place, in my opinion. I think Trent is ground aerial dual success rate is on par with Hakimi, better than Cancelo and Reece James. I don't really understand what that 100%. I'm going to put that to Champions League because that'll be why. Oh no, I'll do it for last season. There we go. So he's on par for aerial dual success rate with Pavard and Hakimi. His ground dual success rate is the worst out of them all. But again, leads the line with clearances on par with Pavard. His interceptions are just a bit lower than Cancelo and Pavard. And again, his blocks are the same as Pavard. So we've put him against some of the best right backs in current day, and Trent Alexander-Arnold for me doesn't look out of place in there.
I think Trent is decent defensively. I think he just gets a lot of hate defensively just because. Yeah. I think rival fans just think he's so good that they're just thinking the worst part of his game.
Yeah. Hi, man. Any thoughts on these stats before we wrap up?
I just think it kind of reiterates my opinion.
Why am I speechless?
No, I'm actually busy doing something right now. I'm doing something, that's why. Hold on.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just do think that Trent. I think everyone thinks he can go forward and all of that. I just think there's a lot more to his game than that. And I think these sort of stats. Look, you can't base everything off stats, but I think when you look at the stats, Trent doesn't look out of place with some of the best right backs or full backs in current football.
I mean, yeah, Pavard also plays in the Bundesliga with less quality teams as well.
Yeah.
Also, Niall, can I say something?
Crack on.
A lot of things with nowadays, when it comes to fullbacks, obviously it depends on the way your manager plays and that. But most fullbacks now, the style of football is attacking. So, like there is stuff. Go on.
Sorry, Tyler. There's always. I get what you're saying, but there's always you do always obviously need strong defensive traits as well. Not saying like I understand what you're saying. I just mean the defense is a very important factor in itself.
Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? He's better offensively, but obviously people don't really say he is defensively. But you look at certain stuff he's done like this season. Like, did you see that clearance with the slide tackle one against Atletico? You know, that prevented them from having a big chance. Like, there's stuff he's done, but you know, I think it's just because it's not proper seen. It's not like a save and grace tackle, so to speak. So I feel that's why people don't really.
No, I hear that. It's an interesting one. But look, I'm probably going to end up doing a debate or something regarding this and something. Because it's international break, isn't it? So you know, you got
I think this has been about 2 or 3 podcasts in one. Started off with the Premier League, then kind of went on to.
I know, mate. It's been a mad one, but we are going to wrap it up there because I do want to get a nap before I then try and stay up all night because I'm back at work tomorrow. But it's a bit of a mad one. But as I say, it's international break, so I'll probably end up doing the debate on the whole Trent can't defend crap because I do think it's a myth. I think he's actually an all right, actually decent right back. But a big thanks to everyone who's been watching. Nearly 2 hours we've been going for, so I do want to wrap it up. Before you go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Check out our socials: Twitter Let's Talk EPL, Instagram Let's Talk EPL_, and on TikTok Let's Talk Premier League. Kenny, where can they find you?
It's been a crazy stream, but you can find me at KennyV210 on Twitter. You'll have to request the account. Kenny TV on YouTube and Kenny the Ice Fan on Twitch.
Perfect. Paul, where can they find you, mate?
Down here on Twitter, Paul Wright LFC. And then from there you can access articles. I'm an author for the Copite, and I do a bit for the Anfield Rap as well. So check those out. Much appreciated. And I've said this the past 2 times, but if you like a bit of music as well, I do a bit of that on the side. Paul Connor Music on Insta and TikTok.
Make sure to check him out there. Tyler, where can they find you, mate?
T-Boys TV, as you can see there, that is my YouTube channel. I also have Instagram and all that. That is in the description of my own videos if you want to see there, or even on the about like the profile section bit. So yeah, feel free to follow me on there. And yeah, the content this week, obviously I follow Luton as well, so there's going to be a Luton show. I'll do that with my dad. That'll be out on Wednesday, or that'll be live on Wednesday, sorry. And then yeah, I'm going to watch the Three Lions, you know what I mean, on Friday. So there's going to be a vlog out. So yeah, check that one out. It'll be much appreciated.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I might watch it. I can't be bothered. I don't know. It's Southgate, so I might not. But Prime, where can they find you, mate?
He's still speechless from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Well, okay. Prime, you can find Prime at Ladimus Prime on Twitter.
No, I'm busy doing something.
Make sure. Yeah, I was going to shout out your socials for you, mate. So yeah, you can follow Prime on Twitter at Ladimus Prime. He tweets out where he is. Normally, you can also find him on the First XI and the Football Terrace. So make sure you check Prime out on all of those places. But yeah, all links are in the description. But that is that, guys. I've enjoyed that show. It's had a bit of everything. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.